So how to really invest into Bitcoin if you are not a trader? Well, I will give you a possible solution. Hello Adrian, and welcome back once again to the Dang Oracle. I hope everybody has been doing well, and it's 7:30 p.m. once again, and UTC plus 8, and welcome everybody who is watching around the world. Hope you are joining me also once again today. Hi Lex, hi Nikolai, welcome back once again. Let's wait a few seconds. Maybe we will have a few more of our hardcore gang. Hi Vahib. Oh, Nikolai, already starting to short already. 1 second. It's pretty hot here. I'll turn on the aircon first. There. Okay. And okay, before we jump into before we jump into the Bitcoin stuff, let's go into hi Monko. Let's go into what is going on in the world on the COVID situation. Okay, let's take a look at the last new numbers. Ooh, the US is now at over 1.6 million. Brazil and Russia are nearing the 400,000. UK, Spain, Italy, are nearing the 300,000. So let's take a look on how it looks on the chart. Hi Adam. We are at 5.5 million, close to 5.5 million. Not very good, not very good. US, yep, not good. Brazil, Russia, yeah, I still, it's been we've been watching this for a very long time already, and we still don't see really a flattening of the curve just yet. And things, I mean, people are starting already to be reopening everything, so it's gonna be very, very interesting. Hi Tina. Hi Darren. Hi Darren. Yes. Welcome. Good evening all. So first, let's take a quick look at the S&P. It's been so amazing. Like I said, look at this, guys. S&P broke through everything. We are now currently at 3,000, and yeah, like I said, this is where my red line is, from 3,100 area, something like that. That beautiful previous order block here. Where I do think that's let's see, I'm really curious if we manage to break that. It's possible, then you know, and then but that's really the danger zone for me, for the S&P, around the 3,100, and then I'll be very interested and to see what happens at that point over there. But right now, if you are looking at the S&P mini futures, we can clearly see we are currently at 3,007. So yeah, 3,007. Amazing, right? While the economy is in a lockdown, the stock market just doesn't care, of course, because there is no correlation apparently between the stock market and the economy. Although, like I said, I do believe that if the economy is doing bad, it will have an effect on the stock market. It's sort of like a lagging indicator or something like that. Hi Alvin, good evening, and welcome. Boom boom. So yeah, let's go on and go to our beautiful blockchain technology, Bitcoin or whatever. Where were we yesterday? Oh, yesterday. Well, yesterday we said that let's go to the forum. Yesterday we were saying that, yeah, most likely we will have a bounce off the 8.6k area where we are in a long at, and most likely it will head up towards around 9k at minimum, where we would be going towards near the EMA 21, or that yellow line, like I said, as a first target, as a sort of like a minimum target that I was saying. And what do you know, price went up towards the yellow EMA 21. How about that? Yeah, maybe I should change my name and change my the title of my my channel, because the dang Oracle, maybe it's starting to look a little bit too suspicious, right? But anyways, I'm just kidding. I assume and I hope that everybody made some money, because yeah, it was a perfect a long spot. Like I said, I told you guys beforehand, it was quite a no-brainer for me. Like I said, that's what risk management is all about, right? When we see that it bounced off that resistance a few like multiple times, doesn't mean that it won't break. You know, are we guaranteed sure that it won't break? No, of course not. But that's why we have also our backup plan. Well, not really a backup plan, our continuation plan of our master plan, right? So that's how we have to think as a trader. So where are we at right now? Well, we are here, and we, like Nikolai said, we are getting rejected from the EMA 21 on the 4 hour around the 9,000. But unlike what Nikolai is thinking, I do think that we will have some continuation. I do think that we will have some continuation towards the upside rather than the downside. So I still don't believe that we will fully get rejected just yet, except this is a very critical point right here, the purple line, which is the EMA 200. So if I see 4 hour candle closes below the EMA 200, then most likely take a swipe back down towards the green box once again. But until I mean, if we are still holding above this this purple line here, the EMA 200, I do believe that we most likely will have a little bit continuation more up towards the upside rather than the downside. I mean, things are not that bad looking just yet. But yeah, it's not looking that great as well, right? Because the bounce is not that big just yet. But I'm not that I haven't fully closed my long position just yet. I closed around 50% of my long around the EMA 21, a little bit above 9K. But that's where I'm at right now. But I still believe that we will most likely get a little bit more continuation to the upside. Well, let me give you a couple of reasoning why I'm thinking like that, right? Because it's not like I'm just guessing. This is not a guessing game. This is more or less a probability game rather than a just you know, sucking out of the thumb type of thing. So let me give you a little bit a couple of reasons why I still think that we have some more continuation from this. Well, first of all, the bounce is really little in comparison with what the dump was, right? So if we take a fib line from that dump just here, so let's take a fib line from this dump here all the way down. Right now we have a retracement of 0.328 fib line. Basically, that's basically what the retracement is. Usually, even though it is it's that weak, usually we do get towards a golden pocket retracement, so a move up. So I still do think that we still have a little bit more strength to be going up for now. Another reason for why I think that we still do have a little bit of continuation is, of course, the RSI. Like I said yesterday, we have some sort of a falling wedge that broke out. We just broke out here, and as you can see, we broke out, but it's like, you know, it's like it's not really very strong. So if we do make a small, let's put a very small measured move here, at least the RSI should be I put my drawing tool instead of my my line. So if we make a very small measured move, we should get somewhere at least to this area around the 55 RSI before we will get rejection. Normally, I'm not saying that it's always the case, but usually we should get like at least something like that. And this is not really a very powerful breakout, as you can see, right? Right now it's like, you know, a breakout, but it's like a flat breakout. So yeah, doesn't mean that that we cannot go down, right? I mean, I'm just saying, usually if we have this type of pattern, this whole drop, yeah, usually we get a stronger reaction than that. But maybe the market is just, it's just very, very in shock right now with what happened a couple of days before, or they are seeing that, let's wait it out a little bit more before we push the price back up or something like that, similar like that. But anyways, so where do I expect the price to be going up towards? Well, actually quite a little bit higher than before. So I do think that we most likely will get back to around our green box here. So I mean, maybe like 9,200 type of area, something like that. The logical target would be around the EMA 55, or my green line right here. So yeah, around 9,000. What is it right now? 9,162. I think that we will get most likely somewhere around this green box right here before we get a real rejection. That's usually what I feel, because this look doesn't, it's most likely going to do something like this, right? Something like this as a bearish retracement. So I do think that we might have some continuation up, but yeah, this is like a critical point though. So if we are closing the 4-hour candles below the purple line, things are definitely not that great, right? I don't know what you mean, Tina. This is BTC USD, but I don't know what you mean, what the difference is. So that's that on the short term. Other than that, what did I wanted to say is I lost my train of thought with that question now. Anyways, let's take a look at the 12-hour, right? Okay, let's take a look at the 12-hour. Some indicators. Yeah, some indicators here. 12 hours is still dropping. Wait, let's go to the 4 hours. 4 hours momentum, and then let's go over the higher time frames when we get a little bit after the 12-hour close. I don't have a price prediction, Didi. I don't have a price prediction. You have to be more specific than that. And also, I don't really do price prediction. I mean, I know that's what people want to hear. Hey, is price gonna go down $200, or is price gonna go up $200? Well, it could be one of the two. This is actually, more educational for people who are actually trading. Then you don't really care if the price goes up or price goes down. Okay. Anyways, let's take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour. As we can see here, 4 hour chart. 4 hour. The Stokes are still curling up, which is a positive thing, of course. Let's take a look at the RSI. Boom. RSI is currently down, but it's not below the EMA just yet. So EMA is going to be crossing down below 8832, and most likely 8832 is around my EMA 200, right? Yeah. So EMA 200 right now is at 8821. So yeah, somewhere around there, right? So if price goes if price would be closing below that, the RSI would be closing below the EMA, and thus also cause a catalyst of more downwards pressure than upward pressure. So yeah, that basically agrees with that, right? But yeah, like I said, momentum is not completely gone just yet. I want to see this 4 hour Stokes curling down before I would be thinking about the real rejection. Other than that, we can see that, and also of course the RSI being closed below the EMA before I really call it a rejection. And then yeah, other than that, very little to say right now, but in 14-15 minutes we will be knowing a lot more on the higher time frames as well. Yeah, Matthew, indeed we have a minor capitulation. We spoke about that yesterday already. With the hash ribbons has printed a capitulation signal. So whenever that happens, usually that's not a very good sign for the next couple of weeks or months. As you can see here, it was printing a buy signal, and then we had very good times from the 24th of April all the way to May. So yeah, and then it printed a a negative signal right here yesterday actually. So yeah, minor capitulation, which is normal because if you've followed my channel before, I've told you guys, if the price doesn't stays around the 8.7k around there, then the miners who are mining on the S15, the S15 ant miner, are actually going to have a break-even price, right? Break-even price. So if the miners are shutting down their mining systems, who have still the old systems, the S15, then of course they will dump their bitcoins, and then of course price is gonna go down as well, right? So yeah, that's definitely not a very positive thing for the bulls. That's for sure. that's for sure. So yeah. On the other hand, what is bullish is and what is very, like I said, very contradicting is that, you know, the stock market, the S&P, Nasdaq, everything is pumping like crazy, right? Look at Nasdaq here. We are at 9,555 right now. We are very near our previous, you know, before the crash, our all-time high. So yeah. Yeah, Nasdaq is just gonna there's no COVID virus. We're just gonna go all the way up without any issues at all. Anyways, so yeah, that's a little bit short term about Bitcoin, but we'll go back to Bitcoin in a little while after we have the main content basically of this today's show. So the main content of today's show is the following. That is what we call the Metcalfe's law. So Metcalfe's law is a mathematical calculation of what the price of the a fair value is of Bitcoin, basically. So why do I want to show you guys the Metcalfe's law? Because I always get the same questions as well from people who are not interested in trading, who are just interested in investing. And if you've been following me before, you know that I separate like between 3 wallets my Bitcoin. One Bitcoin one Bitcoin wallet would be my HODL wallet that I'm thinking about just holding for a longer period. And when I'm talking about longer period, for me that is like, you know, a year, 2 years, something like that, right? Not really like 5 to 10 years like most of the crazy Bitcoin maximalists, because I do believe in the Bitcoin technology. I just want to take profits. You know, if you keep holding for the rest of your life until you take your Bitcoins into your grave, you didn't really make profits, right? The whole point for me is to make money and to make profits, right? So that's why I'm a trader at first. But I do believe in the technology, so I do have a portfolio where I am just holding, and I have a portfolio that I'm just swing trading, and of course I have a portfolio that I'm day trading. And what you guys see me on here doing on a daily basis is of course day trading, or how I am going about day trading. But the whole purpose of this channel is not only to inform day traders, because a lot of people are thinking about it long term. They don't have time or don't have the interest to be day trading or trading at all. They just want to be buying some Bitcoin. And so yeah, I get that question all the time. So the question is, when should I be buying some Bitcoins that I can hold for a long period, and which are the prices, or when did I buy Bitcoin that I've put into my first wallet where I'm just gonna hold it for a long term? So this is it. This is the only video that you need to watch and need to see. So for all the people who have friends that want to know when to buy Bitcoin and hold it for a longer period and don't care about all the rest of the bullshit, this is the video that you have to share and give it to them. And then you will only have to hear and listen to my ranting for one time. That's it, one time. And then that's it. So let's go into it. Let's give a short explanation about Metcalfe's law. Right, Metcalfe's law is actually, it has been tried and tested for valuing networks, including Bitcoin. So how do we basically value some network? It's actually a mathematical calculation, but here's the basic fundamental. So if you have a network and you have two phones, then you can only make one connection, right? You have two phones, you can only call to each other, so you have only one connection. But if you have 5 phones, you can make 10 connections, right? Because those 5 people can call to each other as well, right? So you have 10 connections. And if you have 12 phones, you can have 66 connections. So it's just basically an n square progress. So the more people you have on the network, or the more people who have a phone, the more connections that you can make. So Metcalfe's law is basically just that, a network calculation. And why does it work? Well, kind of work on Bitcoin as well, is because of the amount of people that are using Bitcoin. So the more people who have a wallet, for example, who have a Bitcoin in their wallet, well, you can say that they are part of the network and they are able to transfer their Bitcoins from one wallet to the other wallet, right? So that's basically what the logical explanation is behind Metcalfe's law. And it works quite well on to value businesses, for example, like Facebook or Tencent, you know, all the network companies, right, and businesses. So if you want to look and read about Metcalfe's law and the full mathematical explanation and its analysis and so on, then sure, go ahead. You can just type it in, just Google it in, and you will find it. But for me, it's way easier to just go to TradingView and just input Metcalfe's, and then you will see this. There. So in Metcalfe's law, you have two. You have the Bitcoin Fair Price DAA and the Bitcoin Fair Price TV, right? So for me, I don't really care about the TV price that much. I only basically care about the green price, the Bitcoin DAA. You can also see what the difference is. One is like the daily active, and the other one is like an average of it's also like a sort of an average of it, but it doesn't really matter, right? So what is what you, if you want to be investing in Bitcoin, what is what you will have to be looking at is just when is the price going near or below the Bitcoin fair price. So for example, here when we had our bottom around 3,100 or something like that, you can see that the price was hovering on top of the green or Bitcoin fair price of Metcalfe's law. So that was the perfect time for me to be buying Bitcoin and just storing it away, as I told you guys, when the price crashed, I managed to buy in that wick around 4,100. I didn't get the bottom because it went so fast down that I didn't manage to get the bottom. But as you can see here, it went below once again the green price, and that's when once again I have been purchasing some Bitcoin. Here as well, it went below the green line. It was like around 5,800. Something like that, and I purchased some Bitcoin as well. That was back in 2018, and those are the kind of Bitcoins. Those are the kind of Bitcoins that I am just storing into my wallet. So every time the price goes down or touches the green line or the Bitcoin fair price according to Metcalfe's law or calculations, then basically I just purchase some Bitcoin and I just stash it away, because I'm pretty confident that except if you don't believe in the technology, that the price is going to be becoming zero or worthless, then I think that is a good investment for me. So that's it. Just put on Metcalfe's law on TradingView, check out the green line, and that's it. And whenever the price goes below it or very near it, that's the time you should be buying some Bitcoin and put it into your portfolio, put it into your wallet, and hold it for a couple of years or whatever, how long you want to hold it. And most likely, I'm not saying it's a sure thing, no investment, and definitely not Bitcoin or any high risk investment is going to be a guarantee or a sure thing, right? So that's it. So that's the only video that you need to be sharing and telling your friends or people who are interested in investing in Bitcoin. And then I have to never explain it again anymore. That's it. So if you have a friend who knows nothing about Bitcoin and he says to you, hey, when should I be buying any Bitcoin? You can share him this video and you can tell him, look, if the price goes towards the Metcalfe's law Bitcoin fair price, the green line, you should be buying some Bitcoin and just store it away and just put it somewhere safe. And most likely in a year or something like that, the probabilities that you will be losing money or not making money is quite high. That's it. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing what math can do. Hi Dokan, hi Gino, hi Zachary. Thank you for following and welcome to the channel as well. That's not the EMA, Cedric. It's the Metcalfe's law fair price line. So that was the main topic for today. Let's go back into our Bitcoin day trading. So for the people who just want to invest a little bit into Bitcoin and not look back and are not interested in trading at all, this is it. Thank you for watching and goodbye. I'll say goodbye to you. But for the people that that's like I said, because I always get the same questions all the time, right? Oh, Aldrich, how can I not have Gatorade? It's Gatorade Active. Yes, it's new. It's no sugar. Yes. Yes, Zachary, you can subscribe, and yes, I'm here daily, 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8 time zone. Yeah. What percent of your trading account should be used to trade? As your trading grows, increase your trading correlation. Yeah. So, it all depends on yourself, right? So, I do what I do is I take a percentage of my profits and I diversify it into my portfolio. So what I've been doing since I started with trading 6 years ago, it is every time when I took profits, I actually diversified my portfolio. So for example, right, let's say I made 1K, for example. Well, from that 1K, obviously all my expenses get deducted first. So first I have to pay my bills and everything like that. So whatever is then left over, I usually diversify it. For example, I will put 15% into my gold portfolio. Then that goes to gold. I will put 30% into my stock portfolio, and that goes to stocks. I will, and so on, so on. That's basically what I do with my profits. But at the end of the day, it's more like a system that works for you, that you have to figure it out, right? It's very different from person to person. There's no fixed percentage of what is right or what is wrong. I don't really believe that there's a fixed percentage that's right or wrong. In terms of positions, you should never take positions that are higher than, for example, 5% of your trading account. That's what I sincerely believe. And if you are a beginner, you should actually be lower than that, like maybe 2 or 3% of your portfolio. For example, if you're trading with $1,000, then you should take positions of like $50 or something like that. You shouldn't be thinking about, okay, let's go all in with $500 or something like that. And that's, it sounds logical, or it sounds very simplistic, but a lot of people don't abide to that rule. Invest in gold or in Bitcoin? Well, that's why you have portfolio diversification. I can't even pronounce it. Diversification, right? Portfolio diversification is very important, Jose. You should have a little bit of everything so that you don't run the risk of getting whacked by one or the other, right? So at the end of the day, do I think that Bitcoin has a higher potential to be more profitable in an amount? Yeah, sure. I do believe that Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is also way higher risk, right? So it's all about how, what kind of risk appetite are you, right? For a person that is just investing in, let's say you have $1,000, right? And you're considering gold and you're considering Bitcoin. A normal non-risk person would put 80% in gold and 20% in Bitcoin, for example, right? Because very low risk in gold. Bitcoin is very high risk, but it will, it most likely, if it becomes successful, it will most likely give you higher revenues than gold, right? Somebody who has a higher risk appetite, he will be going like, okay, like I'll go 50-50, 50% gold, 50% Bitcoin, because if that 50% is gone to zero, well, who cares? I can afford it, and I'm okay with it to be losing 50% of my portfolio, right? So once again, it all depends on you, and I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice. So whatever you do is your own responsibility with your own money, right? You just type it in, Metcalfe's, and the indicator. Just type it in, search indicator and Metcalfe, and it will pop up. So, what is Metcalfe currently saying? If we are looking at the amount of adoption, as you can see, the background is black. Is red. Whenever it's black, it means that we are currently undervalued, and whenever it's red, we are overvalued, right? So right now we are still way overvalued. Does that effectively mean that the price is 100% sure to go down? No, that's not true, right? This is just an indication of basically a value, like a mathematical calculation of a value of a network, right? The amount of people using the network is just basically based on a mathematical formula. So you can't really, like, this is not black and white or something like that. It's just a statistic. It's just an indicator that I am just showing to you guys where I am basing off my investment from, right? Like, because I always get the same question from people who know absolutely nothing about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So they tell me like, hey, can you give me some idea, not advice, some idea for when to buy some Bitcoin? I said, sure, this is what I do. You take Metcalfe's law, you make the calculations, and you will discover this, and that's it. If the price goes to near the Metcalfe's fair price, then you should be considering or thinking about buying some Bitcoin, and just like I said, just put it in a wallet, hold it somewhere safe, maybe on like a hardware wallet. Put it in a safe, and not think about it for a couple of years, and see how it goes, right? But don't do it with all your money or anything like that. But most of the times, people who are just asking me those kind of questions, they're not interested in putting like a ton of money into it, anyways, right? So, but that's it. I think that answers the first question, and I buy it, and it's something that I'm doing it personally myself, right? It's not like some bullshit that I'm saying, hey, you should be trying that. That's exactly what I did with my Bitcoin, and that's in my first wallet. That's in my first hardware wallet, and those are Bitcoins that are there, and they'll stay there until Bitcoin becomes $100,000 because we are going to the moon. But I sincerely believe that at those kind of prices, and definitely after the halving, every time we have lowering of the supply, I truly believe that having some Bitcoins at like 3,500 or 5,000 or 4,000 in this case, so you're averaging around 4,000 or something like that, is that high risk? Maybe, but for me it's not that high, let's put it like that. So I hope that helps some people. Now that we have closed the daily, well, not the daily, the 12-hour candle, let's go back into day trading. So like I said, I will say goodbye now to all the people who have left the channel, and we go back into day trading. Okay, let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. What is going on? So we have a new candle right now. As you can see here, the new candle. It's still okay. It's still positive because why? Because I just told you we wanted to make sure that we closed above the purple line or the EMA 200, and that's basically what happened. So like I said, I'm still not that super bearish, although we got like what Nikolai said, we got rejected here from the EMA 21, but that can happen. If the first time we don't succeed, we try again. That's that's the motto of Bitcoin, right? But anyways, I still believe, like I said, I still believe that we have some momentum going up. And as we can see here, our RSI is, yeah, it's still not making any anything super negative or anything like that. So yeah, I still do believe that we will most likely head towards somewhere around this area here. It will be very interesting around this area here when we get there. If we get there, yeah, I'll be closing my position, but I'll be very interested to see what happens. But yeah, I already closed half of my position at around a little bit over 9k. So 8.6 to 9k, that's already a substantial amount of profits that we've been making, and it has been a pretty good month. If you have been following me on a daily basis, things have been going pretty well. But once again, like I said, things can go wrong. Trust me, if you've been doing this for a long time, you'll realize very quickly that shit happens, and shit happens a lot. Yeah, although it has been a good run for now, things can go wrong for a couple of times, and then it will start to affect you emotionally, and that's where things most of the times where things go wrong for traders, where you take more risk than you should, where you take emotional trades and so on, and yeah, that's where usually things go wrong. But anyways, yeah, I still expect us to be going back to around this area here, which is around, yeah, let's say 9.1k, and if not, then we most likely will get rejected and go back to around this area here at around 8.8k. So let's take a look at our expected move charts on the 12-hour if we get there. So expected move charts, first standard deviation to the upper side is at 9,039. It's a little bit lower than I expected, but yeah, it's kind of above 9k, right? And above 9k, most likely there will be some momentum or FOMO back in. There will be some memes that are saying above 9k, you know, that kind of crypto Twitter bullshit. But apparently it works, right? Apparently it works. And to the bottom first standard deviation to the bottom side is 8,753. So yeah, around once again, if we go down to that area, 8,750, most likely, you know, because of the bearishness, so the opposite, most likely we'll get down towards around our 8.6k area once again, right? Kind of makes sense. So that's and we can see that it's currently curling. Oh, sorry, it's currently curling a little bit to the upside. So once again, the upside has a little bit more higher probability than the downside, which is once again why I'm still okay with my position and with my long. And like I said, I just put a tight stop loss. Litecoin and Ethereum, if they're worth I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of altcoins. So if you're asking me, yeah, you can trade it, sure, but it's yeah, I would focus, like I said, I always try to focus. People make things so complicated, right? I mean, if you can make a substantial amount of money with something that is more safe, more bigger, more liquidity, why would you pick that over something that is that is smaller, that has less liquidity? And the only reason or the only answer that you can tell me is greed, right? And if you're thinking about, if you are too greedy, you will definitely fail, right? So I'm not against any altcoins, right? I know a lot of people were saying you're such an altcoin hater or anything like that. If you're making money with altcoins, if you think that these altcoins are going to make you rich, please go ahead and you know, go for it. But yeah, I'm not a fan. That's just it. And I do have a small amount of altcoins, but for me that is just gambling. It's just gambling basically. Where is a good position to put a stop loss? Okay, well, if you haven't expected moves, Trent, just put in expected moves. So if you haven't seen what I've said yesterday, right? Where would I be putting my stop loss? Is basically if price would be going below this price here, right? This previous block here, I'll be putting my stop loss right there. I entered at this price here, so you know it's not really a loss for me. I'm in a no lose, impossible lose situation. It's either more profits or less profits basically. So that's basically what you kind of want to have. But yeah, if you did take a position from that green box and a long position from that green box, yeah, somewhere around there, because it can always wick down, as you can see. But the most important thing is you don't want to see it close below the EMA 200 or the purple line. If you see a close below that, yeah. Then most likely it's not gonna go well. Food Panda. Okay. JG, can you send Food Panda also a message that I still have not received my refund just yet? So yeah, please tell Food Panda to refund my money, because yeah, Bitcoin is at a very low price right now, and I want to buy some Bitcoin. I'm just kidding. Oh, Jaden, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have burst your bubble. Yeah. What can I do to make it up to you? Maybe maybe I can tell you that the tooth fairy is not real as well. So if you're putting your tooth below your pillow and you're receiving some money, it's most likely not from the tooth fairy. So maybe I burst 2 bubbles now. Good evening, Aldrich, and welcome to the channel as well. Yeah. So yeah, that would be my sort of my profit stop loss. Let's put it like that, because I don't want to see a price to be a 4-hour candle close below the EMA 200 or the purple line. That's basically it. Okay, so let's go back to our 12-hour chart. So this is the Stokes on the 12-hour chart, and as you can see, the Stokes are sort of curling, but they're really low, right? But they haven't curled just yet, so maybe on the next 12-hour or on the next 12-hour tick. But it kind of looks like it wants to be curling. MACD still is not curling as well. But you know, it looks like it wants to. So yeah, still not too bearish, and the RSI right now is still below the EMA 21, but it will cross the EMA when price is going to be crossing 8,948, and it kind of makes sense as well, right? If we are crossing 8,940, 8,950, we would be crossing somewhere above the yellow line or the EMA 21, right? So that's basically what the RSI is telling, and most likely we'll be heading towards the green box, upper green box once again. If we manage to break this green box here, like I said, there's a pretty high probability that we'll be ending up around this second box, green box here at 9.5k. That's the 9.5k is something that will be very interesting for me, because I'm thinking about putting some nice short position right there at the 9.5k most likely, because overall I do believe that we still have a leg, one more leg down. Like I said, no real bullish divergence, definitely on the weekly. So do I think, you know, something like this, where we get to the 9.5k, tease a little bit, and then break back down towards our 8k area, somewhere around here. That's that's what the oracle is thinking. That's what the oracle is thinking. But that's kind of crystal ball bullshit. Don't take my my opinion or my word for it. I don't trade on my opinion. I trade on technical analysis, and the technical analysis is just telling me right now that in the short term, I still am not too bearish. We most likely will be hitting a little bit higher, a tiny little bit higher. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of my my medium term instinct or medium term thought just now. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily chart, what the indicators or the momentum indicators are saying. Stokes on the daily is still down, is still pointing down, so that's not good at all. RSI, let's take a look at the RSI. RSI is still down, but it will be breaking up above 9,250. Once again, kind of makes sense. That means that we would be breaking our green box here. If we break that green box, obviously, most likely we'll be ending up towards the second green box here at the 9,500, which is somewhere that I am very interested in, right? But for now, I still believe that we have some momentum to be going towards the upside. But yeah, let's see. If we start closing candles below the EMA 200, it's over. Like, let's put it like that. So it's quite, I'm in a position, in a long position, but I don't think there's much risk right there. If I see price starting to close below the EMA 200, I'll just be closing and taking my profits and call it a day and cry because I didn't make as much money as Nikolai, who shorted from 9,300, right? Nikolai is the true hero here in the community. So don't if you want to ask for some financial advice and some positions, just ask Nikolai, okay? He knows. Okay, what does the HVP say? Okay, let's take a look at the HVP. Of course, our good old HVP. HVP is still it's basically not telling much. It's still expanding right now, as you can see. HVP is still expanding on the 12-hour chart. So nothing that big is currently on the way right now. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. What the HVP is saying on the 4-hour. He's the one that is just typing just above you, Aldrich. One second. Okay, HVP, where are you? Here. HVP is actually, on the 4-hour it's actually contracting. It's actually contracting on the 4-hour. So it's not that low just yet. But yes, I can't really say. It's not that big of a move also, but I would say, yeah, this week we still should get some sort of a $200-300 move this week though. So yeah, we'll be taking notice of that, right? So yeah, Stokes on the 4-hour is still up, like as you can see here. We are as you can see, we are hitting some sort of the red cloud or the Ichimoku cloud here, resistance as well here at right now at around 9,200. So that makes sense as well, right? 9,200 or the green box that I'm having. So if we break, where's the path of the least resistance here on the 29th? On the 29th. So how many days? 3 days. 3 more days. So if in 3 more days, if we manage to hold price above EMA 200 for the next 2-3 days, we have the path of least resistance toward the upside, right? So that's kind of what I want to be seeing, holding the price above the EMA 200 and breaking up above towards the 9,500 area or something like that, right? That's what I'm expecting, but my expectations are wrong all the time. we just follow what the indicators are saying. That's a better strategy. Yeah, Boone, you can just rewatch the video once I'm done for today, and then you can see what Metcalfe's law is, or you can just type it in as well, right? So yeah, I guess that's it for today. I'll make it not too very long, but like I said, for all the people who have friends and want to invest into Bitcoin, please do share this video or send him this video, so he knows about Metcalfe's law, and then you don't have to say anything or explain anything anymore, and that'll save you a lot of effort and energy. Okay, hi Idama. What do you mean, Aldrich? If it's different from coins.ph cryptocurrency trading? Not sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Okay, let's wrap it up. What am I looking for? Well, right now indicators are still saying that we still have a little bit of momentum towards the upside. So I'm still expecting somewhere around this order block here. Well, not order block. This green box here. This what I've been expecting yesterday and what I'm still expecting today. Price is not doing exactly what I'm saying or saying to do. Where would I be starting to feel, some wet feeling is when we are starting to close a 4-hour candle below the purple line here at the EMA 200. If we start to close a 4-hour candle, I'm not talking about wicks, I'm talking about closing candle close. Please be very careful. Closing candle below the EMA 200, I'll be shitting my pants, and I'll be closing my long position as well, my profit long position. If not, if we're talking about the wick, well, we don't want the price to be going below this previous area, the previous breakout candle. Let's call it the breakout candle, because this is when we kind of broke out, which is currently at 8,000. What is it? 8,770. So if we do spike, that's not a candle close, that's just a price. If we do go below 8,770, my stop loss is right there. Well, stop loss, my profit take is right there. I won't be holding my long as well anymore, as on that position as well anymore, and that might happen right now while we're still talking. What do you mean with the stop loss in the market or a psychological stop loss? I don't know what the difference is, or a market stop loss. Yeah, not sure what you mean. So as you can see right now here, price did wick below the EMA 200, but it did not. The 4-hour candle is not closed yet, right? So that does not count as a stop loss. It's just for the record, I'm still in my position. But if it would spike below the 8,770, then then most likely it will be over. But for now, no Nikolai, I'm against you for this one. I think we are gonna go up. Still, I'm bullish. But I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then it's fine as well, right? So we already, like I said, we already have, if you've been following, we've already made our position, we've already made our money. We are in a win-win situation. It's either we make more or we make a little bit, and you must be happy with those small things in life as well, right? So what's the trading, my trading perspectives or my trading position right now? Just waiting for my long position to be closed, fully closed, around this area here. If we do manage to break up above it, then I'm targeting a price towards the 9.5k area, and then around the 9.5k area, that's where I would be thinking about a short position, or interested in this short position. Let's put it like that. You should have a position already. You should always, when you have opened the trade, you should already have a stop loss position in your mind as well, immediately. I don't trade on coins.ph, Aldrich. I just use the trading view for my charting. But any exchange that you're using, you can use this information, right? Yeah, that's Coins Pro is just an exchange, I assume, right? I'm not using Coins Pro as an exchange or anything like that, but feel free to use any exchange that you want, of course. Nobody's telling you what you should be doing. Anyways, am I still interested in a short? Yeah, I'm interested in a short if we would be breaking below this green box here. So I have told you guys already, this is the spot here when these two red candles, which is around 8,525, something like that. If price does break below 8,525, I will enter my short and be aiming around this area here, around the 8,050, 8,100 area. So yeah, that's my plan. That's my master plan, and I think that's pretty clear, and I think that's pretty straightforward as well, so that there's no confusion of where we are currently at. And whew, we have made it to the 1 hour, and we are not liquidated just yet, so that's a thumbs up for the Dang Oracle. That's a thumbs up. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Please do like, share, follow, connect, whatever you want to do. And it was a pleasure once again to be spending an hour with you guys all here. And I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Same hour, same time, same space, same place. 7:30 p.m. UTC.